the late start. Monkey is having a day. One might say. But how are you all doing today? Wait. Hello, Best. Welcome. You know, what's up? Hello, Jonathan. Welcome. What's up? Monkey is sleepy. You ever have one of those days where it feels like you never woke up? Monkey has been sleepy all day. Ended up sleeping in past when I was intending to. And falling asleep here and there, and partially why the stream ended up so late. And Monkey's still sleepy. Not bad, just sleepy, you know? Good luck on the lesson. Oh, thank you, Pugna! Welcome. Saluton. Hello, Remus. Welcome. Yes, every day. Yes, could this all be a dream? Oh. Could be. Monkey has been wondering that myself. Music is a bit loud. Oh, loud again today, huh? I wonder if something messed with my settings. Let me see if I turn it down just a little first. How much do I turn it down? Maybe around... Better? Maybe this is good? Or maybe Monkey's just quiet today. We're doing okay? I spent some time making some silly things in Soul Calibur 6. Oh, you can make things in Soul Calibur? I don't know much about it. I just heard the name a lot and assumed it had something to do with fighting with swords. I think the music is louder than you. Oh, thank you, Best Squid. Thank you, Best Squid and Remus for mentioning. Let me know if this is better, or if I need to turn it down more, or if I turned it down too much. Just let me know. I'll see if I can fix that tuning for next time. We'll see. I think that's good. Okay, great. Thank you, Remus. Thank you. Alright. And so, Sleepy Monkey today was thinking maybe we could do some more Duolingo. Oops, I hit the mic, sorry. Maybe we could do some more Duolingo and see how that goes. Monkey could use the practice. Nice low pressure thing to do on Sleepy Monkey Day. It's a sword fighting game. Yeah. I see. It introduced a character creator a while ago. I love character creators. Monkey has definitely played some games for the character creator, and then after that, stopped playing. And I made some guy named Shatter. Oh! He's a bit of a clown. Oh, I see. That is a rather silly thing to make. That sounds like fun. You know, speaking of character creators, Monkey was fooling around with Leroyd for the first time. I never tried it before, but I just ended up downloading it for some reason and was playing around. And it's pretty fun. It's pretty easy and intuitive to use for the basics, at least. But the problem is the basics are pretty limited. I was going through and I'm like, a lot of these sliders are very useful, but it's missing a lot of sliders that most character creators these days would have. And so I felt it was unfortunately not as configurable as some character creators I've played with. But it was fun. If you try to do anything outside of using the standard presets and sliders though, then it starts getting complicated. Not as complicated as normal 3D modeling, I'm sure, but Monkey was like, what is this? How do I just want to make it bigger? How do I just make this bigger? Could not figure it out. Hi. Oh, hello, Teddy. Welcome, welcome. 3D Monkey High. Nice. I don't know, maybe. I don't really know what I would what I would do with that 3D monkey yet, cause I don't know how you do tracking, 3D tracking. I only know face tracking. But I think I mentioned maybe a month or two ago that my curiosity had been sparked for things like what is it called? Oh, monkey sleepy brain. VR chat. VR chat sounded pretty cool. And so Monkey was thinking, maybe I could check it out, I don't know. No real plans yet. Just started playing around because it looked interesting. Oh, I have a new cat on my house. What I mean? Oh, you have a new cat! Congratulations! I don't know what you mean by what I make though. No, sorry, I'm like, hello A-Fox, welcome, no problem. Monkey is also late. I suppose. You can always just stick it in VR chat and use it in desktop mode with no VR needed. Yeah, that's really cool. I only recently learned that you don't need VR in order to play VR chat, so that's really cool. I'm pretty curious about that. I made something that was vaguely monkey shaped. It's not perfect, but it's vaguely monkey shaped. I don't know how to get a tail though. Viroid is made for humans, I guess. I don't know how to get monkey's tail working. Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, how sleepy is Monkey today? Well, what I was saying a little earlier is that it kind of feels like one of those days where Monkey has never really woken up. Monkey woke up late and kept drifting off all day and snoozing, and everything happened much slower because of it. So I'd say about that sleepy. You could add a tail as clothing, probably. I wish there were some tail presets. I know some people give out free assets here and there, but I don't know the best way to look for them. I know there's some stuff on Booth that I browsed, but I couldn't find a monkey tail. From what I understand, all of the accessories in Viroid are made with different hair textures. Oh, the forbidden knowledge. It's like Bayonetta or Kill la Kill, right? The clothing is all hair. It's hair all the way down? If you ever need help rigging something in 3D or VR chat, just ask in the Discord though. I'm pretty okay. Really? Oh, that's really cool, Best Squid. Do you do a lot of 3D stuff? Vroid stuff, I guess? There are lots of free Vroid assets on Booth, yeah. If I find a monkey tail, I'll let you know though. That would be great, Best Squid. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I may have to take you up on that. That's really cool. Haven't really played around with VR chat But from what I've played and seen, I think I should be changed. It should be changed to degenerate chat. You know, Afox, that's one reason why I feel like VR chat never very much appealed to Monkey, I guess. It didn't seem like the kind of environment that Monkey necessarily felt like hanging out in. But someone on YouTube, I think the guy who runs, what is it called? He does like a board game review channel. I forget what it's called now, but it's a pretty well known, pretty good board game review channel. And on his new sort of like side channel, he did a piece on VR chat, and he showed that outside of the general public worlds, which are all very let's just say they have an early internet flavor to them. Very reminiscent of early internet. Well, then there's also more of these private worlds, I guess they call them. But I guess they let people in. I don't know how you get in and stuff, but there are these private worlds that are really beautiful and really nice and really well crafted for all different kinds of places to hang out. And that the people in these worlds tend to be less about the frenetic, just from the frenetic soapbox stuff, I guess, and more like a cool place to be, you know? Just a nice hangout spot. And so that seemed kinda nice, and Monkey wanted to sort of see some of those beautiful worlds and things. It would be awesome if Monkey had a VR set, so I could actually experience those as VR worlds. But even just on a monitor, they looked rather pretty. Annyeong. It's all hair. Always has been. Well. I would be careful about public VR chat now. People can be rude, to put it bluntly. Yeah, that's what I've heard. So, I will try my best. I will be careful if I ever go into public worlds. I don't know how you get into the other worlds, but maybe we'll figure it out. I've done a bit, but also have a friend who's really good, who I can ask for help from. We could both help. Oh wow, that's really cool, Best Squid. That's really cool. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate your offer. I would also recommend a Japanese site called Nizama, which is where I found my assets to create my model. Oh, Nizama? Nizama, I don't think I've heard of. Let me see. I'll put this here so I can check it out later. Nizama. Nizama. I'm not sure if I have found it. Character of World of Warcraft. Could it perhaps be spelled slightly differently? Well, let me know. Let me know if you have a link or something. If you could drop it in the Discord or even in the chat is probably fine. Let me know. You can always explore VR chat solo, just going in worlds privately by yourself. Do you have a recommendation to how to do that? I tried logging in once under like the test. Well, I guess they showed me some sort of tutorial, and it was interesting, but I got kind of lost. Monkey gets lost a lot in the real world too, so I guess it's not surprising. But I couldn't quite figure out what was going on or where to go. they were like, just use the quick menu. And Monkey was like, what's a quick menu? Help! Hola, no, amiga. Saludos, buenos dias. I hope you are well, mi amiga. Hello, Wifers. Welcome. Yeah, Monkey's doing well. I hope you are too. Love early internet. There are some really cool things about the early internet. It's like lots and lots of craziness, but then small hubs of like, wow. Something like that. Any worlds can be entered publicly, or you can make a private lobby. Oh. You know, I'm going to be lurking today. Oh, hello, Ryder. Welcome. And I wanted to say, I shared something on Discord for you to check out later. I think you'll enjoy. Oh, how exciting! Thank you, Ryder. I will take a look as soon as I can. Yeah. Have fun lurking. When I logged on VR chat for the first time, no joke, I got a spam friend request from a user called Jojo Stan. Lots of numbers. Dead serious, BT dubs. I think that sums up my experience very well. Like they kept sending you friend requests and wouldn't stop? That's interesting. Good to know. I think I'm going to do a first and try to play Stardew as I vibe with everyone here today. Oh, sounds like fun! I've been progressively getting more and more anxious about life, and I really need to double relax. I know what you mean, Ryder. Good luck. I hope you can double relax. The UI menu is a bit confusing, yes. If I see a good video explaining, I'll send it somewhere. Oh, that would be very helpful. Thank you. Yeah. The Discord would probably be a good place, because then Monkey won't lose track. It might take a little while for Monkey to be able to go through things, but then it will not be lost. Thank you. I don't know why, but online VR makes me really anxious. Oh! Online games do that, but VR games especially. Oh, I see. Like, as opposed to local games? That makes some sense, I guess. One thing that Monkey found a little bit shocking was that in VR chat, it was unclear to Monkey when I was in a public world or a private area, and also whether or not my mic was turned on and stuff. And so I think I accidentally entered a public world and it freaked me out. And I was just wandering around being like, oh, I see, because there was a world that they said, oh, go here if you want to see some more avatar options, right? And so Monkey was gonna go play around and see what was available. But it turned out to be, I don't know if it was a public world or not, but it certainly wasn't only Monkey. I thought it was like a closet, you know? A dressing closet. And so I heard voices and saw people running around, and that shocked Monkey. I wasn't sure what to do. Then I ran away. But I think if the big red mic mute icon is visible, that means the mic is muted? Something like that? I wasn't sure, and I wasn't about to find out. Not gonna lie, the public internet makes Monkey a little scared because my voice is very it sounds weird to say this myself, but my voice is very femme, right? And it's never happened to Monkey directly, but that's because Monkey's been pretty careful. But Monkey's heard a lot of scary stories about people getting picked on because their voice was very femme online. So I'm a little worried about that, to be honest. TBH though, VR chat solo is pretty cool from what I have seen. Oh, I have watched Pikami and the VShojo members play around with it and it looks very fun. Oh, what do you do in VR chat solo? Monkey is suddenly imagining like, it's like Minecraft solo? Do you build things? Or do you hop around to different worlds but you just load the instance for yourself and nobody else? And just explore? That does sound fun. And on the topic of VTubing, I hate to bring the mood down, but I woke up today feeling sick to the stomach. Oh no! Oh no! I feel absolutely gutted about the fate of Sana. Eh? Monkey has been kind of cut off from the VTuber world recently. I don't know what is happening. Monkey has been too busy to keep up. Oh. I am sorry to hear that. Something has happened to Sana. Sana? Is that the one? Is that a Hololive Sana? Yeah, I don't like going in public worlds. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. How do you find the kinds of worlds that you like to explore? Are there online listings or is it that how does that work? I wonder. The old grey monkey following the footsteps of the great Monkey King. Huh? Runs away from people online. Yeah. Run away. Run away is the best strategy. There are a lot of story-based and single-player worlds you can explore, yeah. Oh, I see. Well, that's exciting. That does sound like a lot of fun. I know. Hello, Ihiki. Welcome. Sorry, I was streaming as well, so I'm a little late. Oh, I hope you had a good stream, Ihiki. No problem. If you are unaware, Sana from Hololive Ian is now suddenly graduating at the end of this month. Oh, I see. Oh, that's always very sad. Well, I wish her luck. It was a short time together, but I'm sure there was lots of good times. Either way, next time there's a big Japanese convention, VR chat world, you'll have to go. It's really interesting. Oh, they have Japanese conventions in VR chat? That's really cool. That sounds like fun. The main reason I feel sick about it was not only because I love watching Sana's streams, but because something is very fishy about the way Cover Corp is handling it. Oh, I see. I don't know anything about this particular instance, as I mentioned, but I can imagine from the past. I don't know if it's very different from past graduations and stuff, but I know because of the way that Hololive Corporation works, maybe it's a Japanese company thing, I'm not sure. But a lot of the times the graduations feel very, how you say, like leave you wishing you knew more. Yes, I'll post some pics in the Discord scrapbook. Oh boy! Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Best Squid. Sounds fun. It was fun. I was playing Phoenix Wright. Ah! Monkey really needs to get around to playing those games. Everyone tells Monkey that I would like it. Speaking of playing things, I think we were supposed to play some Duolingo today. Let me see if I can at least get that on screen, huh? Let's see. If I... And, Ta-da! Monkey's gone back to light mode for Duolingo because it is the default. I mean, it is the actual interface color. So I think things show up maybe a little better and Duo doesn't look so evil. But if it starts to make my eyes tired since I am Sleepy Monkey, we might go back to dark mode. Have a track record of unfair terminations of idols, particularly Coco and Lucia, and they said she wanted to graduate, but I refused to believe that. Oh, I see. I think this is a level of controversy that Monkey doesn't necessarily want to get into right now because Monkey is maybe too sleepy, or maybe just, I don't know. But I will say that Coco and Lucia and all of the other graduations, I'm sure everyone had their reasons, right? Here and there they do tell you a little bit about the reasoning behind it. Just it doesn't feel like you ever get the full picture. But in some ways, I think that is respectful to the VTubers themselves as well. Sometimes I think maybe the VTubers wish they could talk about it more. But it's really hard to say with limited information, right? So Monkey likes to try not to make too many assumptions about whether something was bad on the fault of one or the other. And just sort of be able to send them off with as positive of a graduation as we can, right? I will say that Lucia aside, because that one is more controversial, I believe Coco, our great dragon Coco, Kiru Coco, I guess you're probably talking about, she has made it abundantly clear. She made it very clear around her graduation time, before her graduation, after it was announced, that this was something that was very much her own decision. And I think Hololive didn't want her to leave either. But for her own self, for her own reasons, she decided she wanted to graduate. And what those reasons are, and that sort of thing, I think it's okay to speculate, but we can never say we know for sure unless she tells us, right? So I just want to be respectful of that sort of thing. But I will say at least for Coco, I hope you can have some positive feelings about her graduation, because I do believe it is something that she chose for herself, and especially if a VTuber chooses for themselves to graduate, then I want to be able to be happy for them and to wish them well in their future, you know? Even if it's sad to see them go. Selling things on the box near our home nets us the same amount of monies as selling to the store, right? You know, I was pretty sure of that. So I think so, yes. I would say the main differences to keep in mind are that certain items can only be sold to shops such as weapons and shoes. Can only be sold to the Adventurers Guild, so you won't be able to ship those. But that'll be pretty clear when you try that it's not possible. But you can sell them, so if you want to make money off of them rather than trashing them, you can try selling them. And the other thing is, basically, the shops will give you money right away, whereas the shipping bin, while you have to wait until the next day to get the money, it will count towards your achievements. On your achievements screen, there's like items shipped. If you care about that kind of thing, there's that. And every store only takes certain kinds of things. So Monkey has always just found it more convenient to ship through the shipping bin. But I suppose you can, if you're out and you happen to be passing by, you can sell to stores too. I don't know, Monkey always shipped through the shipping bin. And so recently I've started to wonder. I've heard there's content that you only see if you sell things through the shops. Monkey wasn't aware of this because at some point Monkey almost completely forgot you could sell to the shops. Because I was so used to using the shipping bin. But yeah, so it's basically up to you. It won't change the amount of money you make. Oh, excuse me one moment. Excuse me. It's not a game with fights, but it do have some serious or dark things. But you did play Doki Doki. I don't think it can be worse than that. Ah, good to know, good to know. Thank you, Amy. I also have it on good authority that Coco is doing wonderfully at the moment. I have heard rumors of such things as well. It's another thing that I don't want to get into too much out of respect to the VTubers themselves. But I have heard that she's doing quite well. It's tough talking about VTubers. You never know what's okay to say or not. But yeah, she's doing wonderfully today. Yeah, exactly. I'm glad, I'm glad you are aware of this, Ryder, because I know that you mentioned that Coco was really big for you, and so it was very sad for you when she graduated. Hello again, hello Chico, welcome, good to see you. I think the best thing that could happen from her graduation happened, at least in my eyes. I couldn't be more pleased with where she ended up in life. As long as she's happy and doing what she wants in life, Monkey is happy for her. And, you know, it's impossible to tell really with any VTuber if that's really the case or not, right? Because in the end, VTubers are entertainers, right? So you're only going to see a certain fragment of what they are willing to show you of their lives. But as far as I can tell, she does seem to be living her best life, as they say. So I am happy for her as well. Duolingo, now the awesome BGM. I'm glad you like the music, Chico. PPA, Coco's graduation was great. I totally agree that it was a decision that was made by her. But it just left a very bad taste in my mouth. I mean, graduations are always sad, right? It's just the thing that bugs me about this one, and I don't want to go into this too much for the sake of now. However, I just find it weird because her view count is overall smaller than the others. Oh, well, sometimes it doesn't matter how big you are, right? But yeah, I can see how that would bother you. It feels like the smaller VTuber that you enjoy is leaving. Somehow, it feels bad in a different way than when the bigger time VTuber you like is leaving, right? Perhaps we should change the subject. You know, Sato, that might be a good idea. Anything in specific we want to learn today now? I don't know. I didn't have any plans. In fact, I thought since Duo always says let's start by reviewing the basics, I thought maybe I'd do that. It's a nice way to get back into it. And then from there we'll just keep going and see what our next objective is. Speaking with graduation, for Sana, it hurts because not because she's graduating, it hurts because I didn't give Sana the chance. Ah, I see. Feels like you didn't get enough time to even really get to know her, huh? Sometimes that's how it is, huh? She should learn how to say Bananarama. What is Bananarama? What does that mean, Remus? Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Sato on this one now, Momo. Okay, sounds good, A-Fox, sounds good. In Japanese, of course. Oh, I see. Bananarama. Yeah, Bananarama. Rama. Bananarama. That's kind of hard to say, actually. To be honest, when Sana was first announced, it didn't interest me because of her VTuber model. But over time, after watching a few of her streams, she grew on me. But it's too late. Oh well. That's the way it is sometimes, isn't it, Chito? Yeah, with VTubers it's hard because sometimes the model gives you a completely different impression than the VTuber themselves. But I guess you could say that about anyone, even in real life, right? It's just that with VTubers, because you can have such a much more extreme presentation of yourself, it can also give you a lot more feelings of implications of what this person's going to be like. That doesn't necessarily pan out to match exactly with your expectations. Yeah, so I understand. It's like that with a lot of the small-time indie VTubers as well, right? You never really know who you're going to enjoy watching until you tune in. And just like the small-time VTubers, just like real life, I guess, people move in and out of our lives at certain times, and sometimes that means we get to spend a lot of time with them, and sometimes that means we end up regretting that we didn't spend more time with them. But that's just how life is, I guess. Another reason for, I guess, Ichigo Ichie. Enjoying the time that you have with the people who are with you right now. Even if those people are different from before. In fact, those people will always be different from before, right? That's why you can value what you have now and think fondly on what you had in the past, I guess. And maybe look excitedly towards what you will have in the future. Reminds me of Toa. People thought her voice was going to be higher. That makes sense. I could see that. I wonder what everyone thought Monkey would be like before you met me. At some point, Monkey realized that, as a monkey VTuber, people probably had a lot of preconceptions about what monkeys are like. And it's true, you know. Monkeys do tend to be one way or another. But I am just Monkey, I'm just myself, so I don't really know. Do I fit the stereotype? Do I not fit the stereotype? Am I somewhere along the normal curve? What is that called again? The normal distribution? Within the standard deviation? This may come as a surprise, but I've kind of gone off anime and VTubers. I've never been a weeb. I've joked about it. But yeah, I don't watch VTuber as much, and I haven't touched anime in 9 months. Oh, I see, I see. You know, it makes sense. Sometimes it's just not so interesting to you anymore, right? Doesn't mean it won't come back, doesn't mean it has to either. I don't think that we have to identify with our hobbies. We can let them come and go as they please. Monkey's very much like that. My hobbies definitely come and go. I wonder, was there a time when I didn't watch a lot of anime? There was probably a time when I didn't watch a lot of anime. But a lot of my friends, I guess, really liked anime. And so I would sometimes watch with them, I guess. Yeah, that's usually how it goes for me. Even if I'm not seeking it out much myself. In fact, I think for most of my life, I've only watched anime because other people were like, here, watch this, let's watch this. And so I would watch together, and that was nice. There was maybe a period of my life, a few years, where I did watch a lot of anime all by myself. But especially nowadays, and even in the past, when I'm by myself, I tend to read manga instead of watch anime. And I don't read manga all the time. I've taken long breaks from reading manga. Quite relatable, lol. The first thing someone said to me was the cat moe was strong, mama. The cat moe for Shatter. You know, at this point, to me, it makes a lot of sense because Shatter's voice is Shatter's voice, and so when I see Shatter, I hear Shatter's voice now. And it makes sense for our wonderful Jester to have that wonderful voice. But I will say, the first time I heard Shatter's voice, it was not what I was expecting at all. Not just from the way that Shatter looks, but also just from having chatted with Shatter for so long. In my head, Shatter's voice was a little different. But nowadays, Shatter's voice in my head is Shatter's voice. And I wouldn't have it any other way. Oh well, there's the quote. You can't appreciate the good things without bad ones. Monkey has always wondered if that's true. I do think that the comparison is helpful, but Monkey wants to believe that you can appreciate the good even without an overabundance of the bad, you know? That as long as we keep ourselves aware, we can notice when we're happy and appreciate the happiness regardless. I thought you were going to be a tsundere. Well, I mean, it wouldn't be entirely wrong. Oh dear, oh dear. I think I'm doing okay on that front. I'm doing okay. The instances of violence have certainly dropped off. The ability to express my feelings properly and respond properly to positive feelings. Still working on that one. Still working on that. No is one of a kind in the best way. Oh no, shit. Oh dear. No. I am just monkey. Actually, when I discovered Null, I thought you would act similar to Sun Wukong, a prankster and mischievous. Yeah, I understand. Monkey's hero is Sun Wukong, so you would think since I modeled my outfit and everything so much off of Sun Wukong, you would think I'd be more similar. I hadn't thought about that at the time, because I was just emulating my hero, I guess. But Sun Wukong and I are a little different, huh? A little different. I want to take this moment to complain about how the calendar and the requests are so close together at the store that you are always misclicking what you want out of the two. Thank you for your time. Yes. I agree, Ryder. It is always that way. I'm always like, oh no, oh no. And it takes me like 3 or 4 tries, and then I'm like, okay, there we go. That's what I wanted. I think the main problem with it is that I've always been embarrassed of watching anime, and I will always go by this: if you aren't proud of it, don't do it. And plus, I got tired of it. That makes sense, A-Fox. Well, I hope that... I hope that you don't have to feel so embarrassed about watching anime in the future, because I don't think there's any reason to be embarrassed by it. But I can understand why you might be, because depending on what kinds of circles you are in, every culture seems to like to label certain things as embarrassing, right? And sometimes for no reason other than that it's something unusual that they don't really understand, that they never really given a try, or even if they did give it a try, they just didn't really get it. And so sometimes things like that end up labeled as embarrassing. But I think that while I agree with your if you aren't proud of it, don't do it sort of mantra, I think that is a pretty decent overall guiding how do you say? Guiding guideline? A way to live your life in a way that you enjoy. I think another thing that is important is to not be embarrassed of the things that make you happy, especially if they don't hurt anyone else. Even if sometimes you feel like you don't want to talk about it in front of certain people because you know that their response might not be very good and it might make you unhappy, or it might make them unhappy. But as long as it doesn't hurt anyone, I think you should be able to enjoy and be proud of what you enjoy. So I hope that if you do enjoy anime, that maybe someday you can stop feeling so embarrassed about it, because there's really nothing to be embarrassed about. I heard... It's kind of maybe a strange phrase, but it stuck with Monkey because it's kind of trite. I heard before someone say, "Don't yuck my yum," or like, "I don't want to yuck your yum," sort of thing. Maybe it's because it's a food analogy, a food idiom, so it stuck with Monkey. But basically, when it comes to food, for example, just because there's food that you don't like, or that you think looks a little strange and you're not sure you would want to try, or it just doesn't sound good to you for some reason, if someone else really likes it, then there's no reason to tell them, "Oh, that's so gross, you shouldn't eat that," right? If it's what they really like, then that's fine. You don't have to understand it. You just can accept that that's what they like and not give them a hard time over it. Because there's probably gonna be something that you like eating that other people will also be like, "I don't know, that's not really my thing." But for example, if you really like chocolate and someone's like, "Oh, chocolate is so gross," it would make you feel a little bad, right? But if you like chocolate and someone else said, "Oh, I see, it's not really my thing, I never really understood it, but you know, you do you," it's a much nicer, more open, friendly sort of atmosphere, right? Everyone can like what they like. Mm-hmm. Oops, I'm getting behind. What else is new? Where was I? No lie, I didn't expect Satyr's voice to be so deep. Right? I think in some ways, correct me if I'm wrong, but and I apologize if this is embarrassing to you, Satyr, us talking about your voice too much. Let me know if you want us to not talk about it too much. But I think that a voice like Satyr's is unusual, right? In that I don't feel like most humans have such a low velvety voice. If that makes sense. I don't think I've met many humans with such low voices, and so it's really cool. But definitely outside of what one might have expected originally. Satyr has a tragic backstory. Keep in mind. Okay, Chito, okay. I was cursed to be small. Cursed to be small? Being small is good, Satyr. Being small is good. Being tall is good. All sizes are good. One day I shall become Ikemen. Satyr is already Ikemen. Or shall we say, Satyr is Ishonen? Which do you prefer, Satyr? Satyr looks like a Looney Tunes character, yet has a corpse voice. What is a corpse voice? I hope that's a compliment, A-Fox. I don't know what it's supposed to mean. All I can imagine is Nightmare Before Christmas? Does the main character in Nightmare Before Christmas also have a low voice? I can't remember. I remember his singing was lots of fun. Satyr is also the main antagonist, the plot twist. Tito has a lot of theories. Hello. Oh, hello, Gwen. Welcome. I'm secretly watching for work. Shh, don't tell them. Okay, I won't tell anyone. Welcome. It's good to see you. What really annoys me about when I stream, was that I tweaked my mic around a lot, and it made me sound like a 9-year-old, and for context, I sing bass and choir. Mic is hard. Miking is hard, A-Fox. If you find it hard too, that makes me feel better. Cause you know all of the acoustics and music stuff. And I know you know how to record some music cause you made that wonderful track. But mic is difficult, huh? I am laughing so hard at the tsundere comments. Yes. I don't know how to put your personality into words, but I appreciate your personality and what you bring to the table now. Oh, thank you. Oh, dear. Thank you so much. I did not expect it. Thank you. That's so sweet of you. Perhaps a pure monkey? Pure monkey. Monkey is not pure. I am just monkey. Oh dear, thank you though, thank you. Hashtag love Tianshi. Oh dear, thank you, Ryder. Soft and genuine. Oh, thank you. I don't know if I would use any of these words to describe myself, but I am very flattered. I am very flattered. Plot twist. Ryder is the second main antagonist. Oh, mods versus monkey. Ryder, a villain. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. I will not go. Turn the lights off. Carry me home. Na 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 na. Sorry. It just came to mind. Especially nowadays, gaming was also viewed in a poor light around the time I got into it. But nowadays, so many people are into it that it's the norm. Yeah, exactly. So this means that people making fun of you for something you enjoy doing, is just a sign of the times. Be proud of what you like. There's always someone that agrees as well. That's a nice way of putting it, Ryder. Ryder is a yandere confirmed. the return of Ryder. It isn't worth it to give ears to such comments from people that just want to say negative things anyways. That's true. I think sometimes sometimes it can be hard to recognize that the way that you react might make other people sad, or to really recognize how much it might make other people sad. This is some ex-tsundere speech right here. Sometimes you do things, and it's because you're kind of trapped in your own head, and you're not really able to think about it from the other person's perspective as well, because you have so much going on in your own head already. And so you don't realize that your hostility or making fun of people or other things like that, how much it can really make another person feel uncomfortable, hurt, self-conscious, this kind of stuff. Because from your perspective, you're not feeling that. You're maybe seeing some of the results of it, but seeing it slightly differently, and not truly fully grasping how it would feel if someone acted that way towards you, for example. So I would say, even in the cases of people who are seemingly just trying to be mean, I wouldn't say you should have to put up with someone who's just trying to be mean. You should definitely do what's best for you. But I always try to sort of give them the benefit of the doubt, at least at first too, because sometimes they just don't realize. They don't realize how hurtful that they're being. Many things we take for granted nowadays were made fun of back in the day. Oh, that's true. Computers, cell phones, even cars were treated as passing fads. Oh, it's true. Surround yourself with those that accept you for who you are. As much as possible. It's just my problem with anime is that, disagree with me all you want, I didn't like 70% of anime. Plus, it really bugs me that anime, even the good ones, pander to such a degenerate audience. There is a predominant culture amongst anime, and also predominant themes and things like that. That makes sense. However, I would say there's definitely anime that steer clear of the sort of degenerate stuff, if that's not what you're into. In the end, anime is just a medium, right? There are certain trends, but it's just a medium. Like, you could say, oh, I hate TV. I hate TV shows. They're all so such and such, right? Which makes sense. There does tend to be trends of what's on TV, and because people who make TV tend to like TV, they'll feed off of each other and follow each other's trends and make little funny in-jokes and things like that. I think that's where the degeneracy kind of comes from, is it's become a bit of an in-joke in anime to include such things. But I would say that, oh, and also because anime is from originally, and still majority-wise right now, a culture that is very separate from others, right? Because Japan does have its own sort of isolated culture. It can make jokes that from their perspective are not degenerate, but from a Western perspective, for example, feel more degenerate. For example, the Japanese stance on like nudity and stuff like that. their relationship with that is very different from the relationship in the West, especially certain countries. And so, what seems degenerate to us might to them seem like no big deal. Like, say, transformation sequences in Magical Girl anime tend to have a certain amount of nudity, I guess. Not necessarily full nudity, but sort of an implied nudity, like think Sailor Moon. And from a culture where public baths have always been a consistent part of the culture, even up till now, it's a protected public baths are protected under certain laws in Japan in order to make sure that they remain accessible to everyone. And going to the public bath was almost a community bonding sort of thing. Like, it was a place where everyone could go and be casual and just, you know, have some time, spend some relaxing time with their community. The nuances behind nudity in Japan are very different than the nuances behind nudity in modern day Western culture. You might think of it a little bit more like Greek culture back when public baths in Greece were a lot more common. So that sort of thing can make it come off that way. But also just in general, if 70% of something isn't something that you enjoy, that's totally fine. And that means that, you know, whenever that 30% crops up, though, I hope that you're able to enjoy it without it being colored too much by the stuff that you don't enjoy, right? It's like books, for example. I don't know. Monkey used TV as my last example, but books came to mind for Monkey because books... They're such a wide medium as well. And maybe you like light novels, but you don't like classic literature. Or maybe you like romance, but you don't like action, right? And anime having such a small base to start with, right? Because anime, if we're defining it as simply animation produced by Japanese studios, if we're gonna go with that definition, there can't be that much because Japan is a small country. But even there, even though the pool is smaller, like you said, there's still going to be that 30% you might enjoy, right? So, you know, you can still say... I think you don't have to identify with your hobbies, right? You don't have to be like, oh, I really like anime, to really like certain anime, right? Like a lot of people in the West grew up watching anime without even realizing it, right? Like Pokemon. If you ask someone, oh, do you like anime? And they're like, what's anime? And then you say, well, did you like Pokemon growing up? And they go, oh, yes, I love Pokemon. Then you wouldn't say they love anime, right? But they still found an anime that they enjoy. And that's something that I don't think they should be embarrassed about. If someone said, oh, so you like anime then? And they're like, well, I guess I liked this anime, right? Anime could do so much more, and oops, oh, I'm so far behind. Oh, here we go. Could do so much more and appeal to way more people. Certainly, and there is some of that. There's certainly some of that out there, especially now that anime has become more popular in general and gained more general appeal. I think there's a lot more experimentation there with plot lines and settings and stuff like that that aren't necessarily the typical. But in the end, it's still an industry that takes a lot of manpower, right? And so the majority is gonna try to pander to the main audience rather than a niche audience, right? But there's definitely a lot that can be done. In some ways, supporting the kind of anime that you really enjoy is perhaps the best way to make sure there's more of it in the future, right? Because that way, more and more studios will be able to take that risk and say, you know, this is not the same type of anime we've been doing for a while, but people seem to enjoy it, so we can give it a try, you know, it's worth the investment. Kind of like how lots of standout anime that change the entire genre. The reason that happens is because they've proven there's a market out there that people want to see. Hey sister, hello Rajan, welcome. Corpse is referring to Corpse husband, a true crime YouTuber famous for his incredibly deep gravelly voice. Oh, I can get into that range if I'm sick, but I can't keep it up. Wow, oh I see. Oh. Maybe have to look them up sometime. That's fascinating. I don't know if I would call Satyr's voice gravelly though. It's very smooth, I feel. You have a very smooth voice, Satyr. Yes, that was what I was referring to. That I would never insult precious Satyr. Okay, good to know. I want to hear the deep voice now. Well, you know, I keep promising a karaoke stream. It will happen soon, I promise. I keep saying that. Monkey soon. It will happen on the monkey timeline of soon. And maybe I'll make sure to throw in some deep voice songs. Maybe majority-wise like last time. We'll see. Speaking of special streams, I just realized today because Twitter sent me a notification saying, "Oh, it's been 2 years since you started your Twitter account." Monkey was, "Huh? 2 years?" So Monkey's streaming anniversary is coming up soon. I don't know if any of you remember. It's been a crazy almost 2 years now, but it's coming up beginning of next month. Monkey's pretty excited. I don't know if we can do anything big for the celebration, because I don't know if I'll have time to plan anything, but we can probably at least hold a casual celebration together, right? So I was thinking that might be fun. Early next month. I'm not the villain, I'm an anti-hero type. An anti-hero. Oh. Is that still a plot twist? Good question. I don't know. Guess that depends what the plot's been. He's secretly an old man with crazy deep voice, using a voice changer? JK? Voice changer technology is pretty cool, to be honest. I kinda wanna play with it. I've never played with it before, but it sounds like a lot of fun. Oh, say now, as much as it pains me, I should ask. Oh? But since we started late, are we still ending at the regular time? Oh, yeah. Thank you for asking. That's important. Unfortunately, I was thinking we would still end around the regular time. I don't think I can go much later. We shall see. I have a little bit of wiggle room, but my guess is it'll be around the same time. So I'm so sorry for the late start. I really apologize. Anime equals a medium. Yeah. So true now. I try to explain that to people too. One way that kinda might help reframe a little bit is that anime in Japanese literally just means animation, right? And you know, in the West that has its own connotations as well. But there's a lot of different kinds of animation out there, right? And some people just don't like animation as a medium, and that's fair. And some people really like animation as a medium, and that's fair too. But in the end, it is a medium. I remember, I might have talked about this before. I remember watching a live stream with Studio Trigger once, and they were having a Q&A session where I think they were asking one of the directors, what's your favorite anime, or what anime are you watching right now? And he said something along the lines of, his response was, I don't have a lot of time to watch anime right now, but my favorite one that I'm watching right now is South Park. And Monkey just thought that was so funny because for him, they had to translate the question into Japanese, right? So for him, the question just sounded like, what animation have you been watching recently? Not specifically, what, animation from Japanese studios have you been watching recently? And so for him, the anime that he really enjoys is stuff like South Park and other Western animation. To him, anime is just a medium. In fact, the word anime is only used to specify Japanese animation in English. In Japanese, it just literally means animation. So if you look at it that way, then seeing anime, even though it is more restricted in English to be Japanese animation, you can see a little more that it is just a medium. You know what's funny? The people who are against video games, especially the government media, calling it for losers and causes violence, are now promoting video games of their own, like the metaverse. I think maybe I don't want to get too much into this area of the topic, this sort of more controversial area of the topic. But there has been, I think as Ryder was saying, a change in sentiment about things like games over time. Some of that could just be due to the fact that games are no longer new, right? There's a lot of people now who are full-grown adults in policy and other stuff who grew up playing video games, grew up playing Mario or Pac-Man, whatever, and really enjoyed it. And so they understand it, as opposed to people who never really knew what it was about. Metaverse, I don't want to get into too much, but Metaverse was created by Facebook, who is now Meta, I guess. And I don't think Facebook was ever anti-game. They actually hosted games on their platform a while back. I think Facebook gaming is more or less dead at this point, but it used to be a huge part of their application, of their app. So I wouldn't say they were against it per se. Hi, Suukong. I'm Suukong janai. I am just Moinky. But welcome. Good to see you. Us, as humans, it is in our nature make fun of things we don't understand. We always make preconscious judgments about people, and I'll admit I've poked fun at certain communities. You know, hey Fox, I think that makes sense. Because, in some ways, one thing I read once that I think I agree with is, in some ways, one reason why humans have humor, the reason we have humor to begin with, is because it makes living a lot lighter, you know? It makes it so that things that make us uncomfortable can turn into things that make us happy or keep the mood light, you know? And so we have this pre-inclination to turn anything that might make us slightly uncomfortable into a joke. Not all jokes happen this way, but it's one thing that we can use humor for, right? And in some ways, sometimes that can be really good and not hurtful at all, right? Like, if you're afraid of the dark, but you can kind of learn to laugh at it instead of being fully afraid, it makes everything feel a little lighter, you know? Or if sometimes you're having a bad day, but you can still laugh about it, somehow that bad day doesn't feel so heavy, so over-encumbering, right? But unfortunately, this does occasionally, or perhaps oftentimes, mean laughing at other people without realizing that you're laughing at them, not with them, right? And And so, I think it is natural. And another reason why I try not to judge people for making fun of others. Monkey does it. In my family, Monkey... My immediate family has a sense of humor where we like to tease each other a lot. So we poke fun at each other a lot. But we kind of understand the context, right? That we don't really mean anything bad by it because we're all friends, right? But it can be misunderstood, or it can be taken too far, and I think that's just a natural thing that people do. So I try not to take it personally, and I try not to think too badly of people, because we've all done it. We've all definitely poked fun at someone and not realized that it would hurt them, right? Like in my family, we like to joke about people being short, cause my family's full of small monkeys, right? And for us, being short is endearing. We like being short. But one time I jokingly poked fun at a friend for being short, and she got mad. She got offended, and I hadn't realized, right? So sometimes there's things like that too, where you don't realize how much what you say might affect someone else if they come from a different context. So of course, when I realized, I apologized and kind of backtracked and decided never to joke about her height again. But yeah, it's just the way things are sometimes. I like your look. Oh, thank you. Nao's voice was pretty deep back during her debut, now that I think of it. I am sorry. Sometimes when Monkey is feeling nervous, I guess that's what happens. Who is this monkey? Yeah. Casual celebration would be a lot better. Oh, you think so, Chito? Well, I'm glad for your encouragement. Thank you. As celebration, do you think you might try to go back to your old voice? That's an interesting proposition. Monkey's old voice. A lot of people seem to really like Monkey's debut voice, huh? Oh dear. I'm not sure if I can do it consciously. It wasn't intentional. It just kinda happened. Maybe if I try, maybe if I practice, Monkey will try to do an impression. Monkey debut impression. I don't know. I could give it a try. Perhaps we could make Mel play some more Flash games for the anniversary. I don't know, should I trust? I'd be down for Hellfire round 2, as I'm sure Mel would. I wonder about that one. I wonder. Gotta go. I'm glad I could stop by. Oh, I'm glad you could stop by. Have a good rest of your day. I hope you got some studying in today. Oh dear, it's been over an hour now, and Monkey has not technically started any Duolingo yet. Okay, soon I will. Thank you though, thank you. Oh dude, I love that anime South Park. Did I ever tell you about the other really good anime called Family Guy? Or perhaps the classic anime called The Simpsons? Exactly. You know, these kinds of anime don't tend to be Monkey's cup of tea, actually. I'm not really into the South Park Family Guy style of humorous adult Western anime. Though I did watch a decent amount of The Simpsons when I was a baby monkey. I don't think I fully understood it at the time, though. I'm back. How is the lingoing going now? Oh, somebody reminding Monkey that this was supposed to be a Duolingo stream. soon, soon. South Park did have an episode where it spoke Japanese and changed it to anime-like style. So, really? Wow! I didn't know that. Early anime was quite inspired by Western cartoons. If I recall correctly. Yeah, exactly. Animation really became a thing in the West first. And in Japan, they were really enamored with it. Especially, the sort of Disney-style animation. That's why you can see it a lot in the way that anime looks today, actually. The idea of having, like, really big eyes, for example, for the expressiveness of it. That came from Western animation. Yeah. Wasn't Osamu Tezuka inspired by Disney? Exactly. If you look up anything by Osamu Tezuka, you'll see a little bit more of that early Disney influence before anime and Western animation started to diverge in style a little bit more. Farmville flashbacks. Were you a big Farmville player, Ryder? I never played Farmville. I played maybe one or two other games though. I can't remember what they were. South Park is wonderful. The wacky concepts are hilarious. My personal favorite episode is when all the characters poop out their mouths and eat out their behind. The concept is so bad it was good. Yeah, see, these are the kinds of concepts where Monkey's like, doesn't quite sound like Monkey's cup of tea, but you know, you do you. Monkey probably won't watch it, but I'm glad you enjoyed it. A lot of people, especially the anime community, misunderstanding the term anime and cartoons. Both are basically the same. They're called animations. What separates both is the Western and Japanese. And these days the lines are really blurred because Japanese animation, as Sato was mentioning, strongly influenced by Western animation to begin with. And conversely, as anime started getting really big in Japan, Western animation started being influenced by it as well. You'll notice that in a lot of modern Western animation, there's actually a lot of references and callbacks to Japanese animation. Little hidden memes here and there sometimes. I know that the studio that did what is it called? Adventure Time, and what is the other one called that they did? Well, Bee and Puppy Cat they did, and the one with the gems. Oh, what was it called again? But that studio has a lot of anime influence, is what I've been told, because I haven't watched a lot of their stuff, but I've heard that there's a lot of references in there, including JoJo references. And conversely, you get people on the other side of the aisle in Japan, like Trigger, saying, oh, we have a strong influence from Western animation. And so it kind of goes back and forth, and you're starting to see Western studios producing anime-style animations like Avatar, The Last Airbender, what is it called? Not the X-Men. What is it called? Teen Titans, for example. Avatar and Teen Titans are both done in what one might consider an anime style, even though they're produced by Western studios. And studios like Studio Trigger and other Japanese studios sometimes try to go really far in producing something that looks like a Western anime, like Panty Stocking. Or more of a tribute to a Western anime, but has that feeling somewhat. No, apologies, all monkeys' voices are lovely. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, thank you. I'm glad you think so. You're sorry. Low voice monkey is alive. Nothing to be sorry about. Oh dear. You love all kinds of no. I know there's more of you. What? No. The monkey you see? No. The only monkey. Yeah. Monkey impression of monkey. I would pay. How much is it? Oh dear. Just for you, the special price of 0,000 yen. Now debut voice impression. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to it and be like, what happened here? How did this happen? Give it a try. We've got the lingo part down for sure, though. We've been doing lots of lingoing. A little bit less duoing, I guess. Personally, I enjoyed King of the Hill the most of that style of animated sitcom era. Oh, animated sitcom. Oh, is that the genre? It's much more heartfelt in my opinion, but that's a tangent for another day, Mama. You know, it's only recently that I started to understand that about King of the Hill, actually. Back in the day, Monkey wasn't very interested because of the apparent genre, the way that the how do you say, the way that the show looked. I assumed that it was going to be kind of mean humor. It looked like the kind of show that was making fun of the people that it was portraying. I didn't like that, so I kind of steered clear of it and didn't watch any of it. But recently, people have been showing me clips of it, and I've started to realize, at least from those clips, it's not really that way at all. They're not so much making fun of the demographic that's being portrayed, so much as sort of both reveling in the demographic, as well as it's more of a sense of laughing at yourself than laughing at someone else, is the feeling, right? That kind of humor. And so it became very interesting in some ways to Monkey to be like, oh, so this is almost like a window into a culture that Monkey doesn't know very well, but a window where it's able to laugh at itself, but also be kind of, as you say, more heartfelt in a way than you might expect. I like that. I think that's pretty nice. A show with the jumps? Steven Universe? Yeah, I think that's the one. I heard there's like a JoJo reference or something in Steven Universe. Actually, speaking of panty and stocking, did you see they're making a continuation? Ah, you know, maybe that's why it was top of mind for me. I think I did hear something like that. I think I watched all of the original run. I can't remember. But that's really cool. That's very exciting. There's a lot of exciting reboots coming up. Like, I think just yesterday-ish? Or was it today? Or 2 days ago? Within the past few days, a show that I never thought was getting another season, Devil as a Part-Timer, started its first episode of its next season. I have not watched it yet, but I'm so excited. I really liked that show. It was a lot of fun. But I watched it with my brother, so I was gonna watch the new season with him too. But he said it's been so long since the first season that he wants to rewatch the first season before we watch the second one. So I was like, okay, I guess I can wait. let's rewatch it then. Yeah, but I'm very excited about that one. Studio Trigger is probably the best cartoon and anime hybrid style. They have a really interesting style that's all their own too, right? It's very cool. Very colorful. I think the now debut deep voice is normal. The same thing happened with Suukong in the Monkey King in Dota 2. Eh? The trailer gave him a deep voice, but in the actual game, he sounds higher and mischievous. Maybe it's a monkey thing then? Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Ryder. Maybe it's a monkey thing. Our first impression, we have to come at you with a deep voice. Gotta put on that deep voice. That's pretty great. And Monkey caught up, so we can actually pretend that we're gonna play some Duolingo today, right? Keeping us on our toes, lol. Exactly. You caught up. Click start. Yes, thank you, Ryder. Same brain cell. Start review. Ho. We started something. Look at that. What do you know? We are capable. We have started playing Duolingo. At the very least, we have started. How has the Duolingo been now? Just in time. We hit start, Enhiki. So we have technically started playing Duolingo today. This is our first question of the day. Remember, if you don't do Duolingo, he will show up with his mafia, JK. Is it a mafia of cute owls that will say, "Do your Japanese homework"? Maybe I need that actually. Wait, no. What kind of tea are we having today? Oh. Uh-oh. In fact, we are having our regular, typical chamomile tea. I've been drinking chamomile tea for streams a lot recently because it doesn't have caffeine and it's very calming. It also doesn't have sugar. My ginger tea I tend to drink with sugar, but sometimes Monkey has eaten too much and doesn't need any more energy. So chamomile is a nice calming tea. Stop commenting in chat for now. It's okay. You can keep talking. Monkey's enjoying myself. Just started, but isn't it close to the end? Lol. Don't worry about it, Hiki. We started it all. That's an accomplishment, right? That's an accomplishment. What? Ke yasai hoshii. Sushi. This is new. They didn't used to have the romaji on top. Oh. But I kind of want to use. This is like normal mode. I want to do Duolingo hard mode, so we're gonna use the keyboard. We're gonna type things in Japanese. If possible. It's hard mode also, because sometimes you don't know exactly what Duo wants you to say. Now I know, because I saw the word bank, but... Chamomile, you say? Oh yes, it's one of my go-to teas. But I like talking to you. Oh, I like talking to you too, Shatter. I love chatting with the tea club. Honestly, that's really what keeps me streaming. It's in some ways, I kind of always knew that that's what I would like about streaming is chatting with people. Which is why, from the very beginning, my goal of streaming has always been interacting with lots of people. But the more I stream, the more it really hits home to me that this is what I love about streaming, is talking to all of you and having fun together. On days when Monkey is not feeling great or is super sleepy like today, you guys give me energy in the nicest way. Like, not a jittery energy or an anxious energy, but just a happy energy. We all love talking with you. Hashtag love Tianshi. Aww. Thank you, Hiki. Thank you. I love chatting with you as well. Take my energy. Oh, thank you, Chatter. Thank you. You guys are great. Alright, I saw the word thing, so I can cheat this one. Hoshi. Hoshi. Hoshi? Is it Hoshi? I think it has another E. Hoshi. Hoshi? I believe. Hoshi. Nice.
Young.
Young? Young. Like 4? Yeah. By the way, is that a little bit loud for you guys too? Is Duolingo slightly loud? Maybe I should turn it down. Let me know. No, it's great. Can't confirm. No. I am just monkey. Just regular monkey. But thank you. Satyr and Rider gives the most amount of energy. Wait, not energy anymore, but a nuclear reactor. Infinite energy. Bill is kind of loud, yeah. Okay, let me see. Let me tune you down a little bit. Let's see if that helps. I'll have to play it to see if it'll see what the volume is. 1. Hitotsu or ichi? Maybe ichi? Is that a little better? 1, 3. I am powered by spiral energy, so it's only fair I share. That's a Gurren Lagann reference, I think, right? I still need to finish that anime. I only watched maybe 1 or 2 episodes.
Sushi.
Sushi? Too quiet now, or is that good, you think? Sushi? Not ushi. Ushi is cow. Sushi? Sushi? Oh, that's the kanji. I'll do it in kanji, why not? Make Duo think I know kanji. Sushi. Goodbye. Sayonara? Yeah, ne? Probably sayonara if I were to guess. Sayonara. Goodbye. Sayonara. Sayonara. Oh! The you is sometimes long, sometimes short. Sayonara. Sayonara. Really? This is strange. I did not know this. Gurren is so good. I really do hope you finish it at some point. It's a series that means a lot to me. Oh, I'd like to give it a try. I hear things change a lot, so even the first few episodes, the impression I get from the first few episodes is non-representative, right? Like, a lot of things happen, right? I have to give it a try. I am powered by the will to give someone a compliment and tell them they're amazing and you are now, and also cute chicken. Oh dear, Hiki, thank you. You are always the one to come in with the compliments, aren't you? Thank you. You're great, Amy. A cake for 5 in a row. Cake where? This is new. That's cute. Sang. I wonder if they mean this one. The first one here is mountain, or they mean sang like the number. Sang. I think I'm gonna turn Duo up just a tiny bit, because it's a little hard to hear over the music. Alright. That's a little better, I think, right? Not too loud, but not too quiet. Nice. 3. Okay, so they meant 3. Teriyaki. I guess if you were going to just say mountain on its own, without any other characters, you would probably say yama instead of san. That one's one that's always a little bit confusing for Monkey because in Chinese, it's san, like my home, my hometown, Huaguoshan. San in Huaguoshan means mountain. And so the Japanese pronunciation san always comes to mind for me before the pronunciation of yama. Teriyaki. They're asking me to translate teriyaki into Japanese? Is that is that what we're being asked here? Teriyaki. Okay. Teriyaki. Here we go. Teriyaki. Though it's kind of still cheating because I'm typing on a Western keyboard. So I'm typing out romaji instead of kana. It might be... I wonder if I can get myself a kana keyboard. I use one on my mobile phone sometimes so that I get better at recognizing kana. Tick. Nice.
Ichi.
Again. 1 4 4 Nice.
欲しい。
欲しい want. Oh! A cat! Haha. Oh, cheers to that. 10 in a row. Nice. Alcohol. Sake? This one, but all by itself. Sake? Like this? Cat? Yeah. Monkey. Buddy, welcome. Good to see you. How you doing? Osake. Oh, sake or osake. That makes sense.
さようなら。
That's a little scary. If someone looks at you and says it this way, sayonara, they might be saying goodbye forever. Sayonara, goodbye. 3 3 I wonder if I can find the kanji. The kanji for 3 is very easy. Here we are. 3 I'm good. Caught stream just in time for dinner. Oh, glad to hear it. Oh, looking at the time, I probably can't stream very much longer, but I'm glad you were able to catch us. And I hope you have a great dinner. May I ask what's for dinner? How's it? Pretty good. We were supposed to play Duolingo. We are technically currently playing Duolingo. We may have spent 3/4 of the stream chatting instead of playing Duolingo, but it's been a lot of fun though. I was enjoying it. Oh no, I thought it said 11 minutes ago. 11 minutes ago? Wait, what did you think it said 11 minutes ago? It says 111 minutes ago. Ah, yeah. We also got a bit of a late start today because Monkey's been having a sort of a sleepy day. One of those days when it doesn't really feel like Monkey has woken up yet. And so stream got started an hour later than usual. But I don't think I'll be able to go very much further past the normal time today, so unfortunately it's just a shorter stream today. Stream started. Sorry, well. No, I got you. I figured out what you meant when you said it says at 111 minutes ago. I understand.
お酒。
Osake. One of these means alcohol and the other one means salmon. And I don't know which one is which.
お酒。
I guess osake must mean alcohol because that's what we're learning right now. Sake must mean the fish. Alcohol. Today was kinda like that for me too. Oh, just a sleepy day all around, huh? Mm-hmm. No worries now. It don't matter if it's game, you're chatting, or you're spending 30 minutes talking of an interesting topic like kimono. JK. It's always fun, the streams. Thank you, Hinky. I appreciate that. I'm glad if you all enjoy yourselves too. Carrots, you mean you agree with Hinky? Oh, thank you, Huari. I appreciate that. I am here for now. Oh, you're all too nice. You're all too nice. Thank you. I appreciate it a lot. You all are great. Well, I'm here for all of you, so. Thank you. Sushi. Sushi. Again, they want me to translate teriyaki and sushi to Japanese, which is just kind of funny. We'll do kana this time. Sushi. Cat.
Teriyaki.
Teriyaki. Write this in English. Does this seem a little silly to anyone else? They already wrote it. Teriyaki. I'll do it though. Teriyaki. Correct. Oh, who knew? Did you know that to say teriyaki in English, it's teriyaki? Perfect. Oh, thank you. I think Duo just wheeled someone by. I'm not really sure what happened there, but I think someone just got wheeled by. Okay, that was a good review. Practice again? Wait, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh, they teach Navajo and Hawaiian. That's cool. Hold on. Let's do a regular lesson. Let's see where we're at. Suggested stories. Oh, I haven't played around with stories yet. We don't have a lot of time, so I don't think I'll do that today, but maybe next time. That seems interesting. How beneficial would you say Duolingo is for learning Japanese? That's an interesting question. In some ways, I think it depends on what kind of learner you are. I would say that for learning Japanese, it's a fun sort of... It feels like a fun game you can play to get a little bit of practice. But in terms of learning Japanese itself, I find more helpful having either going to a Japanese class or having a Japanese tutor or just trying to immerse yourself in Japanese. These sorts of things will make it a lot more natural, and you'll be able to learn things both the natural way through natural speaking with other people, as well as the sort of pedantic way of learning specific grammars and what's considered, you know, specific grammar forms and stuff like that. So I would almost say Duolingo feels like a nice supplementary thing you can do. Like if you're the type of person who enjoys flashcards, you wouldn't learn a language through flashcards, but it might help you supplement and learn it better. And since Duolingo is kind of gamified, it's pretty fun. It's a fun way to practice the language. But I don't know if I would say I learn a lot from Duolingo. Not so much compared to other forms of learning. Yeah. Especially with something like Japanese, where there's a lot of grammar and constructions that don't exist in English, for example. And so even if you kind of learn them through the Duolingo method, you won't really understand the context or why you're using it. So far, the grammar they use isn't the most complicated either. So certain natural grammar that you might hear every day you might not learn. There seems to be a lot more of a focus on, as far as I can tell so far, there's a lot more of a focus on vocabulary than grammar. And then of course there's the hearing and the speaking, the listening and speaking versus reading and writing, right? And that also depends on what you're looking for. It's nice that they have what seem to be native speakers speak out the things. So in terms of listening, it helps a little bit. But in terms of speaking, there's not much of that. I think there is an interface where it'll listen to you, but I've had trouble getting it to work. Reading, it's helpful because they have sentences in Japanese. But then also writing, it depends on how you're trying to write, right? Japanese classes will often have you handwrite things, and that's better for really learning what the characters are composed of, as opposed to typing. Especially if you're using Romaji typing, then you won't really get used to anything except for the sounds, which is helpful. It's a little bit like learning to speak, but not exactly. Ah, I see. It seems so overwhelming, especially if you want to sound like a natural speaker. Oh, I know what you mean. I would say there's two major things to unpack there. One, it does seem overwhelming, but don't let it overwhelm you. Any sort of first baby step is a great place to start. I would say if you want to be able to speak Japanese naturally, if that's your goal, starting with Duolingo is just as good a place to start as anywhere, because it'll get you into it, right? But eventually you might find yourself wanting more. Want yourself finding explanations of why is it like this? Or what if I want to say this other thing? And then you'll find yourself naturally branching out into the areas that are right for you. Whether that's going into online forums. Duolingo has its own online forums, kind of, that you can find a lot of information in actually. That I find very helpful. So online communities, or if you're like, oh, I just really want to go through a textbook or sign up for a class, Duolingo is a great way to start because it's low commitment, right? It's self-study, but it's well directed because it's fun and it plays like a game. And once you develop that base level of comfort, I mean, especially if you're gonna self-study, being able to do a little bit of just basic reading and writing on your own is gonna help quite a lot. So I definitely say, if you're just looking for some place to start and you just don't want to think about anything else yet, just give it a try, you know? There's a lot of fun online resources these days. Tofugu is a great resource for just fun articles. But one that I really like from a grammar nerd perspective, I've started to become a little bit of a grammar nerd because grammars are so interesting. One resource that I really enjoyed is called, I think, just Japanese with Anime. And there's this blog online where they go into sometimes general phrases, like the stereotypical tsundere phrase. I forget what it is now, but they have an article literally about that one phrase. That's a lot of just fun to read through. Or they also go into very specific things that Monkey has questions about, like particles like da, te, da. All of these little things that Monkey likes to read up about. And so, depending again what kind of learner you are, if you like to get deep into that pedantic stuff, there's a lot of resources there. There's also one thing that Monkey's been trying to look for is, I know that if you want to just get comfortable speaking, there are resources where you can find speaking partners, right? Like italki. Usually you're asking someone for their time, so you pay a small fee based on their hourly rate. There's probably also, I don't know, pen pal matching services. I feel like there must be, right? But like for speaking out loud, vocal instead of writing. But I haven't found any yet, so if anyone knows of any, I'm looking for some. That sounds like fun. If you want kind of a hybrid, there's also Hello Talk. Again, Hello Talk's not the best place to learn unless you find a partner who's really down to teach you. But it's a fun place to practice. Because you can practice typing and other people can give you a critique and you can listen to other people. It's a nice community environment. So rather than feeling overwhelmed, hopefully, I feel like you can take it sort of like how in a game there are many different ways you can go, right? There's many different methods for learning, many different focuses, and you can take your time and choose the one that you like. And the other thing is, I understand the desire to sound like a natural speaker. Monkey definitely has that as well. But I've realized that the reason I want that is because I'm a linguistics geek. Especially a phonetics geek. I really like the way things sound. And so I want to be able to sound native, right? That being said, I also would love to be able to sound like I have a particular accent. I just love phonetics. And so because that's my motivation, I'm like, okay, I can accept this desire to sound like a natural speaker. And also, you know, it's a little bit fun, it's a little bit impressive if you can sound like a natural speaker in a language that's not your first language, right? And that's got value to it as well. But I don't think there should ever be any pressure upon anyone to sound like a natural speaker in a second language. Because language is all about being understood, right? So first of all, the most important thing with a language is getting to a point where you feel like you can express how you feel to some extent, even a small extent. You can express yourself and understand people in turn, right? That's for me the real goal of learning language. And even if you don't sound native, that's okay. Nobody is going to look down on you for it. There's going to always be, kind of like we were talking about earlier, there's always going to be people who might get enjoyment out of making fun of other people, but I don't think that that is something that really you ought to be embarrassed about or worry about. If it's just someone else who enjoys that sort of thing, you should be very happy with whatever you've already accomplished, and for the effort that you've put in. And most people, the majority of people, will just be happy that they can communicate with you. And especially Japanese, because so few Japanese people learn languages outside of Japanese. It's very, very helpful for them, for you to be able to speak Japanese with them. Additionally, I think this is something that gets underplayed a lot, but accents are really cool. No matter what your accent is, and no matter what language you're speaking, Monkey thinks that accents are really cool. Again, maybe it's because I'm a phonetics geek, but I don't think anyone should ever have to feel embarrassed about their accent. Especially, it's very cultural, right? What people consider, oh, a really cool accent, or a less cool accent, right? That's very cultural. And so Monkey says, forget about all that. All accents are really cool. Even if they're kind of hard to understand through sometimes. Like, even if you have a really thick accent, it still sounds pretty cool, because that's, in a way, your unique way of sounding in this moment. And if that accent gets lighter over time, or changes over time, that's fine too, you know? But it's your unique sound. In the same way, you should never be embarrassed about what your voice sounds like. That kind of feeling, I guess. I don't know if that's helpful. I mean to be encouraging. Maybe I'm just saying silly things, but that's how Monkey feels. I learned to speak English solely by mimicking how people pronounce English words. I didn't read or anything. Yeah. So that's another thing about your goals, right? Like, if your goal is to be able to communicate, remember that human literacy is a very, very new phenomenon. Throughout the majority of human history, the majority of people got by just fine without reading and writing. In the modern day, it'll be harder if you want to, say, immerse yourself in a culture and you cannot read and write. Because literacy rates are so high, literacy is more expected and shows up more in daily life. like at train stations or whatever. They kind of expect you to be able to read things. But it is not a necessity, and it is not even the core of communication, right? The core of communication, honestly, the core of communication comes down to just looking at each other and understanding an intention. You don't even need verbal language or any sort of language to communicate. A lot of people get by in foreign countries without even knowing the language just because they're good at communicating, even without language. But the second layer on top of that is verbal language. If you can understand some amount of each other's verbal language, then it becomes even more easy to communicate, right? And so if your goal is to be able to speak with other people in a verbal sense, that's incredible. That's perfect. On the flip side, because of modern technology, because of the wonders of modern technology, we've entered an age that's not like any seen before, in that you can communicate with other people purely through written language and not even know how to pronounce the spoken language and still be able to understand each other. You can completely index on the opposite and just learn how to read and write at a native level. It's a little harder with phonetic scripts like Japanese to do that without knowing anything about the phonetics, but actually it's not too bad. I heard a story about someone who did this with Chinese, because Chinese is almost purely non-phonetic, especially certain dialects. And in fact, Chinese is one of the few languages where this ability to read and write to each other, even if you couldn't understand each other in spoken language, has been around for a long time because of how they unified the script across the entire country without unifying the verbal element. And so it's kind of like that, but you can do that now with any language over the internet or just written out, that sort of thing. That's a really cool thing, but it would be very pioneering. So I think the typical approach tends to be a balance of the two. I've noticed if you take classes, I feel like there's a much stronger emphasis on reading and writing and grammar, because that's just the sort of academic way of doing things. And so if you want to be able to speak naturally, I recommend also practicing speaking specifically on the side. But if you prefer to be able to just more or less understand but have a good sort of an academic foundation, then classes are great. On the other hand, there are now classes in a way, or specialized classes, basically the one-on-one tutoring method that focuses on speaking and grammar rather than writing and grammar. And that's the sort of like italki thing. I know I keep bringing up italki. I've never tried it, but I've heard good things, so I'm kind of interested maybe to try it if I find an interesting an instructor that kind of resonates with me. We'll see. Well, like baka? what do you mean like baka? Like a word you learned from picking it up from natural speech? A lot of people do learn that way. Again, depending on what kind of learner you are, some people can learn just fine from watching a lot of media, listening to podcasts, and just kind of practicing that way. I definitely picked up some of my Japanese through subtitled anime, and I'm hoping to move on to non-subtitled children's anime. I don't expect to understand all of it, but just to get more practicing, you know? Stereotypical tsundere face. Is it that common? Mama. Oh, is that what we're talking about? I don't know. I usually talk bad of my voice, but not because I don't like it, but because when I was baby, I had surgery, and now I'm missing some of it. I'll never know how my real voice is. Ah! Well, you know, Ehiki, maybe this is a trick of language as well. But I would say, whatever your voice is now, that's your real voice, you know? It's not that you never know what your real voice is, but you don't know what your voice might have been before the surgery, right? But there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people, you see, the truth is, nobody's voice stays the same their entire life anyway. So even though yours was changed via surgery, it doesn't make it that different from someone else whose voice was changed through some other method. For example, for example, if you have a testosterone-rich body, if you have a stereotypically masculine body, your voice often changes around puberty rather dramatically, right? And that doesn't make your new voice not a real voice. It's just the voice you have now. Versus the voice you had before. If you have a stereotypically feminine body, a stereotypically female body, your voice actually changes, I think, all the way up through age 30. And there's no consistent way that it changes. It's just constantly changing in small ways. That's what I heard once. Till at least 30. Just naturally that happens. And so, you know, again, that doesn't make one of your voices more you than the other. They're all you, and they're all wonderful. And then, depending on what you eat or what your habits are, like I know smoking changes a lot of people's voices, that sort of thing. It's all your real voice. And it should all be appreciated as your real voice. In my opinion. Should there be some music? Oh yes. Is the music too quiet now? There's definitely music playing, but right now it's a little quiet, I guess. I see. Thanks. I guess I shouldn't call my voice scuffed anymore, JK. Well, if you enjoy calling it scuff, then that's fine, right? If it brings you joy to call it scuff, who am I to tell you how to talk about yourself? But if you're calling it scuff because you think, oh, it's not so good, don't worry, it's good. It's a good voice. Because it's your voice. There's been music the whole time though. Oh, okay, so you've been able to hear it, Chatter. That's good, that's good. Scuff? YouTuber reference. All VTubers have scuff. Oh, speaking of which, oops. I just noticed the time. As I mentioned today, I had a little more wiggle room, so I don't have to run immediately, but it looks like we are a little over time, so I should probably start winding down and get ready to say goodbye. Let me get us over to the comfy room. Jajang! We played a little Duolingo today. A little bit. Eventually. So, that's a win, right? It's tough to change your voice past puberty, like I'm doing. Oh? Are you doing vocal training, Remus? That's really cool! That's really cool! I don't know if that's what you're doing or not, but I find vocal training incredible. It's so cool what people can do with their voices sometimes. Because it's true that if you're really dissatisfied with your voice for one reason or another, you can always do vocal training and make it into something else. You can't make it into anything you want. That's life, right? But it's cool that if it really bothers you, you can do something. Or if you just want to because it's interesting and fun. Oh my. Oh my. Oh. Is that time? Yeah, I'm sorry. Da-da. Da-da. Thanks for the stream note. The comfy room once again. Yes. Thank you, Jito. Thank you for coming. Goodbye now. Oh. I'm sorry, Fluffy. I'm sorry. but thank you for coming. I'm glad you could catch us. Voice therapy. Same thing though. Ah, I see. Oh. Well, good luck with that. I know there's a lot of reasons for doing voice therapy. And yeah, it's a lot tougher to do it intentionally than, you know, letting the natural processes happen. But good luck. And honestly, it's really cool. It's really cool that you're doing that, regardless of the reasoning behind it. I guess... I guess it might not seem cool. Like, the reasoning doesn't have to be cool. Does that make sense? The reason you're doing it might be cool, might not be cool. You get to decide. But the fact that you're doing it at all is pretty darn cool. Thanks. Thank you, Flatty. Thanks for the stream. Thank you, Remus. Thank you. And thank you for coming. Gracias por el stream, mi amiga. Oh, thank you, White Bears. Welcome. Not welcome. Thank you for coming. This is the end of the stream, not the beginning of the stream. Thanks for the comfy times now. Return to the monkey realm and have a great rest of day. Thank you, Ahiki. Thank you so much. You have a great rest of your day too. That time. I'm sorry, Shatter. I'm so sorry. It is that time. A little bit of Duolingo. The now. Yeah, that's how it goes, I guess. Just a little bit in the now. Well, thank you for the stream now. Even if shorter than usual, it's always lovely talking with you. You too, Shatter. Hashtag love Tianshi. Yeah. Huh, next time should be normal length. I'm sorry for the short stream, but it was so nice chatting with you. Thanks, heart. Of course. Thank you for the stream now. Sorry it was a bit lurky today. You know, I'm sure you're gonna say something like, we like lurkers here. We do like lurkers here. As long as you're enjoying yourself, we stand. It's been double relaxing. Thank you for this time. Oh, I'm glad to hear it. That's wonderful. I'm glad you got some of that double relaxation in. Alright. Thank you all so much. Oh, it's been nice. I'll see you soon. What day is it today? Today is this is a Thursday stream, right? Yeah. So I'll see you all next Tuesday, I guess. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week and a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you all soon. Thank you all so much for coming. And so I guess with this meeting of the Tianshi Club is now officially adjourned. Alright, everyone. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. See you Tuesday now. Just a heart monkey. Thank you. I'll see you Tuesday, Shatter. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.